problem comes from Chapter 5.2, Calculator for Finding Probabilities. And it says a survey was conducted to measure the heights of U.S. men. In the survey, respondents were grouped by age. In the 20 to 29 age group, the heights were normally distributed with a mean of 69.9 inches and a standard deviation of 3 inches. A study participant is randomly selected. Alright, so what we're going to look at here is it says find the probability that his height is less than 66 inches. And we're going to be doing a normal cumulative distribution, and we're going to have a lower bound, an upper bound, of course the mean, and the standard deviation. Well, my upper bound is going to be 66 because I want it to be less than 66. So I always make either my lower bound 0 if 0 makes sense, or I'll do negative 10,000 for negative infinity. So you could do either one. You could have put 0 here because nobody has a height of 0, or negative 10,000 for infinity, negative infinity. 66 is the upper bound, 69.9 is your mean, and 3 is your standard deviation. We're going to look at all three of these, then I'll show you the calculator. Same thing here, lower bound, upper bound, mean, and standard deviation. So in this one, because the height has to be in between 66 and 72, 66 is the lower bound, 72 is the upper bound. Here's your mean, here's your standard deviation. Then the last one we're going to look at, and I'll go to the calculator and do these in just a moment. Find the probability that his height is more than 72 inches. So more than 72 inches. That's going to be my lower bound because that's as low as you can go. The upper bound will be a positive infinity this time, and I'm going to use positive 10,000. And here's my mean, and there's my standard deviation. So these are not very hard to do, and I want to let you take a look at these now. So we're going to do the first one, and so I'm going to clear this out because that's where I had worked another type of problem. I'm going to go to second distribution, and I'm going to start off just doing the normal cumulative distribution, which is number 2. Okay, and I'm going to put negative 10,000, comma, 66, which is my upper bound, so my lower bound, my upper bound, the mean, and the standard deviation. And the answer's already there for you. So the answer would be, that's the probability, which I could round it off to 0.097 because usually they ask you for 3 numbers behind the decimal. Okay, so now, and notice I didn't even have to finish the parentheses. I'm going to have it type over, and this time I'm going to put the parentheses. And remember my lower bound, and I'm going to have to delete some numbers because I'm going to have too many numbers when I get back up here. So let's go over here, and let's put 66, comma, 72, comma, 69.9 is already there. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to delete some numbers. Whoops, wrong way. And I'll need to kind of type in and fill this in. 69.9, comma, 3, parentheses, and enter. What's the probability that it's going to be in between 69 and 72? Most of the guys must be that height. 66 would have been a short height. And so I'm going to do that again one more time. And this time I've got to go from 72, and I may run out of time here with this. 72, comma, 10,000, but you see how it works. You don't even need to see the rest of the problem. Comma, 69.9, and comma 3. And there you go. And so about 24%.